Hi there, and welcome to Tammy Talk TV, where we share ways to live a healthy, happy life. Today, I want to build a little bit on what we talked about in the last video. So if you missed that, I will link it up here and in the description box below. But essentially, we went over the building blocks or the design for a healthy, happy life. And those are, to just kind of recap that for you, we have a little graphic here of healthy and happy. And so our foundation for the whole thing is wellness, because it's really hard to be happy if you're not healthy, if you're not well. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it is considerably more difficult. So the foundation of wellness is composed of three primary elements: exercise, rest, and nutrition. So that's our foundation, is that wellness. And you cannot sacrifice one for the others. You have to have a balance of those three elements. From there, we move on to the three pillars of happiness. The first one being inspiration, because we have to be inspired. We have to have goals, to set goals and move towards them. So that's our inspiration element. After that, we have to move on to communication, because no matter how many goals we set, if we can't communicate first to ourselves and then to others that those goals are a priority to us, then they're just going to stall at the first stage. We have to move them through into the world with communication skills. And after that, we have to get organized. So organization is our final pillar, because no matter how, well, I won't say you can't be unorganized and achieve your goals, but again, it is considerably more difficult. So when we talk about organization, there are a few different elements of that. First, we have to organize our finances, know where our money is coming from, and then where it's going. After that, we have to get hold of our physical space, because if our physical space isn't organized, our mental space tends to be a little more scattered as well. And it actually works both ways. If we're feeling scattered in our mind, then our physical space tends to reflect that. There's a quote from, it's a television show I used to watch, that Niecy Nash would say, "Clutter is an outward manifestation of an inner condition." I don't know if she made that up or if she came across it somewhere in the literature, but it's very true, and it works both ways. If your physical space is cluttered, your mind is a little more scrambled. And if you're feeling jumbled in your mind, then your physical space seems to be a little more cluttered. So if we get hold of that physical space, it actually helps us complete that circle. And after that, we have to get hold of cyberspace, because things that we're seeing on cyberspace are affecting our health and happiness, and things that we're putting into cyberspace are affecting our health and happiness. And the truth is, the internet revolution is new enough that we're not really sure how long that effect lasts. We know that if we put something out there as a teenager, it can very well affect us into our 30s and 40s. But you know, as we move forward in the internet age, will it affect our children? Will drunken spring break photos that we post now affect our grandchildren in the future? We don't really know. What we do know, though, is once you let that cat out of the bag, you can't put it back in. So we have to get hold of our cyberspace, both what we're taking in and what we're putting out. Now, to break that down a little further, let's start with inspiration. So that first pillar, inspiration. Inspiration is actually composed of three different elements as well. We have to have healthy habits, because those are our seeds of success. We have to have goals, because that's what leads us to that happy life, is to have goals and to see them get closer and closer. And then we have to manage our time and energy so that we have both the time and the energy to pursue those goals. Then we move on to the communication element. And that communication element also has three basic lessons, right? So the first one is conscious conversation. We have to be able to have a difficult conversation. And this is one of those things that no matter how old you are, even if you're only 3 years old, it's important to know how to have a conscious conversation. So whether you're 3, 33, or 103, if you aren't able to have those difficult conversations, now's the time to figure that out. And if you're spending more time with your children and pay more attention to their education because of the current situation, now is the time to teach them these skills as well. You have the opportunity to teach them skills that will last them a lifetime. So conscious conversation is a big part of that. Being able to say no. And we gloss over that with our children because we certainly don't want them to tell us no. But the truth is, you can teach a very small child when and how it's appropriate to say no. And that will serve them so well later in life. Think about it. As a teenager, want to smoke a cigarette? No, thank you. Want to skip school? No, thank you. Want to take the teacher's car for a joyride? No, thank you. But if they don't know how to say no, then it's considerably harder to keep themselves out of situations that they know they should not be in. They just don't know how to get out of it. So if we teach them how to have a difficult conversation, then we have given them a skill that will last them a lifetime. And if we don't know it ourselves, it's time to learn. So anyway, we move from conscious conversation into learning, because learning is the conversation we have with ourselves. So if we know best how we communicate with ourselves, then that serves us across the entire spectrum of our lives. And after that, we move on to leadership. Because if we're able to communicate with ourselves and with others, then we can be a leader in our own life. And then we move on to that important organization element. And as we talked about before, organization is composed of 3 things as well. We have to have our finances, our physical space, and our cyberspace firmly under control. So, if you think you would like this material, or that you would, especially if you would like to add it to your children's curriculum, I had intended to open registration in the spring of this year. But of course, with the current situation, it just doesn't feel like the right time to make money or to ask people to spend money on things that aren't absolutely essential. So, with that in mind, for my YouTube audience, I would love to just give it to you. Like I said, there are 9 lessons that focus on inspiration, communication, and organization, and our foundation of wellness is the prologue. So, the whole thing has text. Every lesson has 3 to 5 pages of text. Then it has engagement exercises, which will help you tie that to your personal life. And then we have a video Q&A playlist, which is totally dynamic. And if you have a question that you don't see represented there, you can leave it in the comment box and I will come back with another video. So it's a very dynamic process. And then after the video Q&As, we have source and resource links. So again, if you would like to check it out, you can head over to TammyTalk.com. Or if you would like to download the entire series for free, simply like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment in the box below that says something to the effect of, I sent you an email. Then you can send that email to TammyTalk2020@gmail.com, and again, that's going to be linked below too, and simply request your copy, and I will send you a link where you can download the entire thing for free. And from there, I hope to see you in the classroom. Okay, well until then, here's wishing you health and happiness.